Hey everyone, it's Lockhart FC here, and the big question is it coming home? After 57 years just over, can the men's team for England actually win a international trophy once again? Well, just like 2018 and then 2021 with the Euros, the last Euros final, we might be 90 minutes away from watching this England team lifting the Euros, as obviously we went out in the semis of the World Cup in 2018, then the quarterfinals in 2022, and then in the last Euros, sadly, we lost to Italy on penalties, which was just heartbreaking for the nation as a whole. But with England having to scrape their way through each game in this tournament, this Spanish team have easily dispatched each side before them. How can England beat Spain? So personally, in regards to this tournament, I'm actually really optimistic, but at the same time, this Spanish side are scarily good, with players like Morata, Dani Olmo, Rodri, and the rest being incredible this tournament, with even players like Cucurella, who hasn't been that good for Chelsea, being a lot better in this tournament for Spain. And obviously, Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old, I think he's actually now 17, I think he's had his birthday recently, but he has just been absolutely phenomenal for Spain. He is a generational talent, a young player who makes me, someone in 25 in my mid-20s, just feel like complete crap in comparison. Honestly, this lad's 17, playing for Barcelona, scoring in a Euro semi-final is just incredible. But England seem like they have an impossible task on their hands here, as it's been really just ugly football so far. It's Southgate ball, it's been slow, we've been really dropping off in certain games, with the lads just scraping past Slovakia with obviously Bellingham's overhead kick, and then just scraping past Switzerland on penalties. And yes, to address the semi-finals game against the Netherlands, I do think this wasn't a penalty on Harry Kane by Dumfries, and I do think it was wrong of UEFA to appoint a referee who has previous connections with match fixing. But as English fans, we'll take this result, won't we? And we got lucky against the Netherlands, but to address the Dutch fans, the media, and the German tabloids calling us cheaters, let me just bring up a few moments in footballing history for a second. It doesn't really come up too often that I actually defend the men's England team, but here we go. First off, we have Diego Maradona's hand of God in 1986, then Beckham's red card on Diego Simeone in the 1998 World Cup, Frank Lampard's disallowed goal against Germany, which quite clearly went over the line but wasn't given in 2010, Chiellini not getting a red card in the last Euros final for pulling Saka's shirt so far that it strangled him, and finally the overall bad refereeing and bit wishy-washy decisions in the France game in 2022 in the Qatar World Cup. These are only the main ones, but all of these were bad refereeing decisions which resulted in England exiting major tournaments. So don't come at us calling us cheaters when we've had to put up with bad refereeing decisions which have affected us going out of tournaments in nearly every major tournament for the past 20 years or so. But with that out the way, going back to England versus Spain for a second, personally, I think it will be 1-1 and we'll go to penalties, and I really hope I'm wrong about that, and I'm really hoping England can obviously pull it off in the 90 minutes, but this Spanish team are just so good, and I feel like every single player will just need to play their hearts out. I think Southgate will have to make the right decisions going on, and I've got to be honest, I don't know which way this will go. I think this will be anyone's game. I think England will have better penalty takers if it does go to penalties, but then the question is, do some of these younger lads have the nerves to score in a Euros final? Obviously, players like Saka missing in the last Euros final, and obviously he got his redemption against Switzerland, and I feel like with players like Trent and Ivan Toney and Harry Kane, we have got some of the best penalty takers in the world, and I feel like we definitely have a shot if it's on penalties. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? I do think Southgate will go with a similar formation as he did against the Netherlands, but I do think we will need to see players like Ollie Watkins, Cole Palmer, Ivan Toney, Konsa being subbed on a bit quicker if we've got a chance to win it in 90 minutes, as the Spanish side are very young, they're very good, they're very quick and agile, and will likely press up high and will be quick to defend on a counter-attack. So I do think Southgate will have to sort of rejuvenate the team maybe 50, 60, 70 minutes into the game. I don't really think it's it's worth making a sub with like 5 minutes left, like bringing Anthony Gordon on with 2 minutes left if we're 2-0 down. I think that would be an absolute waste. So in my opinion, although obviously the Watkins sub was just fantastic against Netherlands, we got extremely lucky in that game, but I do think Southgate needs to make subs a lot quicker. As for my personal preferred formation, I'd go with this on screen right here, with Pickford in goal with a 3-4-3 formation, with a back three consisting of Kyle Walker, John Stones and Luke Shaw if he's fit enough. If he's not, maybe Guéhi or Konsa instead, as they've both been incredible this tournament. I feel like Guéhi for me has been one of the only consistent English players in every single game he's played in. But then I'd also go with 4 in midfield with Saka and Bellingham, and then with Rice and Kobbie Mainoo. As a Manchester United fan, it's just so brilliant to see one of our youngsters playing in the starting 11 pretty much every game. Kobbie Mainoo for me has been near player of the tournament for England. I think he's been fantastic, and I'd put him in the middle as well. And then with Cole Palmer and Phil Foden pressing up with left wing and right wing. I know Foden doesn't usually play on the left, but again, I thought he did sort of redeem himself in the Netherlands game. He didn't play fantastically well, but I feel like he played a lot better. I think Phil Foden has been playing better and better and better with each game he's actually played in, so hopefully he plays a lot better against Spain. But if players like Harry Kane and Phil Foden do underperform like they have done in previous games, I'd then like to see players like Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney and Anthony Gordon come on to liven things up against Spain, as we'll need players to run behind the Spanish back line, which Kane hasn't really been doing so far. I feel like Harry Kane has underperformed in this tournament, but hopefully if we can get players like Watkins on, we can sort of rejuvenate the side a bit. So that's been it for today's video. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this is the right formation? Tell me your preferred formation in the comments below. And do you think football is coming home finally? Obviously, I feel like a lot of foreign fans, if they're watching this, just don't understand how much it means to us in England. Football's our national sport, and we really, with the golden generation of the past, with like Gary Neville, Wayne Rooney, Gerrard, Lampard, Terry, Ferdinand, etc., we should have won tournaments in the past, but we just haven't. And I feel like with this England team right here, we can do it. Even though we haven't been playing well in this tournament, we just haven't. That is a fact. I'm really hoping this England team can finally bring it home, and as we've just been deserving of it for so long, and I'm just really happy we're in another final. I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be in the pub like the rest of you, or at home. So stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's coming home, boys. Come on.